And a very good evening to all my viewers out there. It is right now Tuesday, June the 2nd, 2020. It's 6:58 p.m., almost 7 p.m. And we're here in Ville Saint Laurent on the corner of Cavendish and Côte-Vertu West. And I'm going to be doing a walking video here between Cavendish and Côte-Vertu Metro here on Côte-Vertu Boulevard. And we'll be walking in the east direction tonight. So just a couple of things I want to mention. There's the Côte-Vertu shopping center right down there, and that big building right there you see in the distance used to be the Sears warehouse before Sears Canada closed its doors a year or two ago. And this is Cavendish Boulevard. So Cavendish Boulevard, there's two Cavendish Boulevards in Montreal. There's one here in Ville Saint Laurent, and there's another one in Côte Saint Luc, and they both have the same name. And ironically, they're very close to each other. There's a big train yard that basically separates the two of them, and they've been talking for years and years about merging Cavendish Boulevard between Côte Saint Luc and Ville Saint Laurent, and it never materialized. And apparently, yeah, this has been going on for decades. So right now, if you want to go from here to Cavendish and Côte Saint Luc, you have to go down Côte-Vertu, take the Carry Boulevard, and then go down Côte Saint Luc Road or something. So yeah, I mean, that's something they've been talking about for years. So again, there's a Cavendish Boulevard in Ville Saint Laurent, and there's a Cavendish Boulevard in Côte Saint Luc, and there's a rail yard that basically separates the two of them. So they'd have to build either a bridge or a tunnel to bypass that rail yard. And I think it's is it the Taschereau rail yards? I forget the name of it. There's an ambulance over there. So yeah, we're here on Côte-Vertu Boulevard, walking, like I said, in the east direction tonight. And I was just in the West Island because I was trying to find a backpack, and my backpack unfortunately broke, and I needed a new one, so I couldn't find one in my part of the city in Verdun. So I ended up coming to the West Island, something to do, and I took the 216 on the Trans-Canada, which the Trans-Canada highway is just to my south of here, and that's also known as Highway 40. And there's a service road that runs parallel to the Trans-Canada Highway, and it's called the Trans-Canada Service Road. So I took the 216 bus, got off at where the IKEA is, and I was doing a walking video on Cavendish, but I decided to scrap that video and just start a new one here in on Saint Laurent Boulevard, on Côte-Vertu Boulevard. And you can see this is a pretty big street here, multiple lanes. And again, we're going to be walking to Côte-Vertu Metro, which is a decent walk. Now for me, I've been doing so much walking lately that I've gotten some large blisters on my feet, which is making it pretty painful to walk. But yeah, at least I've been getting the exercise, trying to get in shape. Yeah, I see a lot of buses go by here as well. There's a 470 coming from the West Island. Now, if you look at the sky, you can see it's pretty cloudy, dark. There's some rain forecast to move in later tonight around 8 p.m. And I'm surprised we haven't, I'm still waiting for the first thunderstorm of the year. I'm surprised we haven't had that yet. I know during that heat wave the past couple of days there, they had some thunderstorms forecast, but none materialized. Now you can see on the street there's a lot of residential apartment buildings, and as we get further down, further east, you'll see more commercial buildings. You may see an industrial building or two. And I like how they name apartment complexes. For example, here, this is the Villa Princess 3. And I guess these other ones are the 1 and 2. And now eventually we're going to come to a street called Saint Laurent. And my subscriber George, who lives in Alberta now, I'm sure he'll make a comment about that. And you know, I was thinking of doing a walking video on Saint Laurent tonight, but unfortunately my feet right now, don't mean to complain, but they are pretty painful right now. So probably down the road, maybe next week, I'll be doing a walking video there. But like I said, I don't want to be too far away from home because of this pandemic. Now, most street signs in Ville Saint Laurent have kind of like an oval circular shape to them, and they have an orange color. These ones are blue and they're rectangular. So I'm not sure why they're different on Côte-Vertu Street, Côte-Vertu Boulevard. So we're coming up now to the corner of Côte-Vertu and Hills Street, which ironically there's a hill right here. I don't think that's why they named the street that. I think usually streets are named after people, or sometimes you do get a street that's named after a certain characteristic of the street, like lakeside or mountain view. Yeah, so that's Hills Street right there. Now, you can see, like I said, there's a lot of multiple lanes on this street. It's a large street, and there's also a reserved bus lane right here, which is in effect from 6:30 in the morning to 9:30 in the morning, and 3:30 in the afternoon to 6:30 at night, Monday to Friday. Now coming up here, there's a school. There's a couple of schools on this street as well. There's the 196, which goes to Lachine, 3900 series hybrid. And this is Bertrand Street coming up, Bertrand. Now, Côte-Vertu, if you were to keep walking in the east direction, or traveling in the east direction, Côte-Vertu eventually becomes Sauvé Street, Sauvé Boulevard, which is where the Sauvé Metro is, which is on the orange line, same as Côte-Vertu. And if you were to walk down all the way to the west, the western part of Côte-Vertu, you'd eventually get right near Trudeau Airport. And it's literally right between the two runways, the street. And I smell some barbecues tonight. People must be cooking outside. There's the 121. Now the 121 bus, it says Sauvé on it because that's the name of the bus route, but it starts off here in Côte-Vertu and eventually ends just past Sauvé Metro. I believe it goes all the way to P9 Boulevard, if I'm not mistaken. Some more apartments here, and the interesting thing is there's apartments on this side of the street. But over here now, where we have houses. There's nice little houses here. Nice garden. Yeah, I really like this garden. Nice and leafy. People doing some work here with the water compressor. And I feel some raindrops coming. There's some coach buses. I don't know where that bus goes there, but it says Auto Route 40. There's a 470 Canada Post truck, 121 behind it. There's the Ville Saint Laurent Adult Center, it says. Another school. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cross over to the other side of the street now. At this next light. School bus. There's a 72 Alfred Nobel, which I believe is named after the person that came up with the Nobel Peace Prize. I could be mistaken. And Alfred Nobel is in, that street is in the industrial city in Ville Saint Laurent, I believe. Or is it Dorval? Has a name of the industrial village, whatever you want to call it, has a name. The industrial park. And it's on the tip of my tongue, but I don't remember it. I think it's, I don't know if it's in Ville Saint Laurent or if it's in Dorval, Pointe Claire, or in between everything. But I'll have to look that up. Some more houses, apartments. Alright, so I think we're about, maybe not quite, but coming up to the halfway mark of our video here. Look at these trees here touching that power line somewhat. Now, depending on where you live, I'm sure this is the normal way of doing things. When the trees are getting too close to the power lines, they hire some tree trimmers to come and cut them. And you'll see occasionally Hydro-Quebec signs, no parking signs on the street for those tree trimmers. Because obviously, you know, it's a fire risk if those trees ever touch those high voltage lines. Yeah, so I think we are coming up now to Alexis Neon Street, which, by the way, is the same spelling as Alexis Neon Shopping Center near Atwater. Oh, I love these stones here on the side of this house. Nice style. Oh, I could smell those flowers from here. Beautiful stones. Alright, so yeah, we're coming up now to Alexis Neon Street. There's an old truck there. Well, it had a graffiti on it. Yeah, that's old. Sky is definitely looking threatening for rain. Okay, so I said I was going to cross the street, and I think I'll do it here. Okay, so just waited for the light to change. Looks like that ambulance is still down there in the distance. Okay, so now we're on the other side of Côte-Vertu Boulevard. The northern side, I guess you could say. And we'll just wait for the light to change here. Yeah, so it gives you a different perspective on this side. And you can tell these trees are old as well. And you know, sometimes you can get an idea of how old a house is by judging by the thickness of the tree. And the thicker the tree is, chances are the tree was planted at the same time as the house. So the thicker the tree, the older the property and the older the house. I guess that's one way of looking at it. Oh, look at these. Speaking of trees, these are nice. Ready for planting. Sort of reminds me of autumn, these colors. But we're far from autumn. Well, kind of. Time flies. There's 171. And this is Bunin Street right here, Bunin. And the reason why I occasionally mention street names is in case any of my viewers are, you know, watching this video or any video. And, you know, sometimes I might mention a street name and they'll be like, oh, I remember that street. Also, as a reference point, if you ever want to check Google Maps, specifically where I'm doing my walking videos, you can just search for the street names and do your own little walk through Google Maps, Street View. Alright, so we should be coming up now to Saint Laurent Street very shortly. So again, we're walking in the east direction right now, coming up to Saint Laurent very shortly. Another nice apartment building here. Oh, that's the school bus I just saw earlier. Nice 2800 series bus. Comfortable ride. And we are now on, is this Marlot or Marriott? It's Marlot Street. And Saint Laurent's about a block or two away from here. And then it's another, I'd say, maybe 5-10 minute walk to Côte-Vertu Metro. So here's what it looks like in the side streets, if you're wondering. So Saint Laurent's that big street coming up, that big intersection. There's a 216, that's the bus I was on earlier. I think there's a bunch of buses now, actually, in our direction. Because they're all heading out to the West Island, through Ville Saint Laurent, Dorval, Pointe Claire. That's the 470 again. So we're here on Saint Aubin Street, Saint Aubin. Not to be confused with Saint Urban, does sound similar. And we're coming up now to, like I said, Saint Laurent. Very busy intersection here. I think Saint Laurent is actually a numbered street. Yeah, it's actually numbered, the 117. It's such a big street, it has its own number. It's a north-south artery. This is Tate, which I assume is this street here. Ocock, I believe, is a exclusive Quebec company. I don't know if they exist anywhere else in Canada, but they are a chicken place. Not bad. There's a 225. And gas is north of 93 cents now. 93.9. It says diesel's at 97.9. And this is for this Esso location here. And now you're going to see that the street signs are going to change. So here, look, this is interesting. It's actually a City of Montreal street sign. See the flower there? But we are in Ville Saint Laurent, I'm sure of it. Here's a pharmaceutical company here. Big pharmaceutical company. GlaxoSmithKline is what it is, I believe. So we'll wait to cross here, and yeah, there's Saint Laurent. George, if you're watching, George, well, this street down there is where you sent me a lot of pictures of from back in the day, where Bombardier is, and the Canadair used to be there. And so we'll cross now. Yeah, GlaxoSmithKline is this pharmaceutical company. Yeah, so there's Saint Laurent facing north. And eventually I want to do a walking video from here all the way up. And hang on, I just have gotta fix my alarm here, hang on. Alright, I crossed over here, just had to fix my alarms because they were going off here on my phone. There's another articulated bus. Okay, so we're walking, like I said, in the east direction here. We're almost at Côte-Vertu right now. Another couple of blocks. Now, whenever I'm doing a walking video lately, you'll notice that my alarm goes off on my phone. And the reason that alarm is set, well, sometimes it's by accident. Other times it's just to let me know that it's a certain time because I can't see my clock when I'm filming. So it just reminds me, okay, it's 5:15 or 7:20, just so I have an idea of time reference. The only problem is sometimes I have to pause the video to turn the alarm off, which defeats the purpose of it, but I don't know. Anyways, alright, so there's another 121 bus going by. A lot of 121s tonight. There's the GlaxoSmithKline. Now here's an interesting bus route coming now, this one. This is for the trains. This is to replace the commuter train lines. That's the 968. That basically goes to Pierrefonds train station because the commuter train line is closed right now because of the REM work. Which, by the way, I got some nice videos tonight of the REM under construction in the West Island when I was there. Alright. And one of the things I love about this neighborhood is the large trees. There's always trees around. So here's what I was talking about, the street signs. You're going to see right here. I'll zoom in when I get closer. Look at the street signs here. They're actually oval shape. That's a traditional Ville Saint Laurent street sign there. When we were walking earlier in the video, you may have noticed it was a rectangular street sign. But yeah, that's a traditional Ville Saint Laurent street sign right there. And you notice the difference between these ones and the ones earlier. So another 2 minutes to go, I'd say, and then we'll be at Côte-Vertu. Oh, there's a nice plane taking off there. Because like I said, we are right near an airport. Okay, so we're almost here at Côte-Vertu, another couple minutes. And yeah, we're coming up pretty much to Carry Boulevard. There's a couple blocks from here. Another 121. In case you can't tell, they're a very popular bus. Nice little park here. That's this Cardinal Street, which is ironic because I filmed the Cardinal bird earlier tonight. Okay, so we are almost here. We're about 2 blocks away from Côte-Vertu metro station. As I mentioned, this is Côte-Vertu Boulevard. Nice little stretch that we walked tonight. And maybe some viewers out there, you want to leave a comment. As always, hit subscribe, hit the notification button. There's the McDonald's, which they're reopening, by the way. They're reopening for takeout. They used to have the drive-through remained open through the pandemic, but It's only now that they're starting to actually reopen the dining area for takeout anyway. And yeah, we're coming up now to Côte-Vertu Metro Station. And yeah, here we are. Alright, so thank you all for watching, and as always, like I said, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and many more videos to come. Look at all these buses here. Alright, have a good night, everybody.